Hello, thank you for joining me today. Just a quick little video today to talk about sketching. I've just been sketching one or two of the cows outside. They've actually now all decided to lie down, so I've given over. And they haven't been that successful as sketch. But what I really wanted to talk about was the fact that when something's so far away, we don't see all the detail. We need to break things down into shapes. So this is the same if you're sketching people that are, you know, a little bit further away down the street and things. Just break them down into shapes rather than trying to sketch, you know, the whole thing with all the details, because the trouble is our mind fills in the blanks from our eye, and we really need to rely on our eye and what our eye is seeing rather than filling in and imagining things. So when animals are a long way away laid down in a field or something, you just want a general sort of shape of them and not to put all that detail in. So, you know, you might have a full herd of cows laying in a field and you can make that up just of a few very simple shapes. So one shape that you'll notice with the cows is, well, for a set off, they're very angular. So here we've got quite an oblong. I'm just trying to go over that. So really, you know, it's very much an oblong. This is obviously for when they're standing up. And then we've got more or less a triangle here, but can you see it's sort of flattened off? The head's much wider at this point than it is here, so we come across. Then we have another triangle shape here, because of course it comes down. Now with this particular cow, I could tell it was a much older cow because its neck was hanging down a lot further than a cow that was younger. So we've got an oblong, a bit of a triangle, another triangle here, and then obviously the legs. So look carefully at the legs. Again, the top part's quite triangular, and then they straighten off the bottom. The other thing about cows is they've always got what we call a hock here, so where the tailbone is, it goes up. Probably not as much as that, but from a distance, if you just get these shapes in and you imagine these in a very big painting a long way away, just very small, they're going to give you an impression of a herd of cows. Okay, so we've got that now. So that's one standing up, and if we look back at the ones laying down, well, this was one standing up from the back actually, and this is a very typical shape here. When they've got the back to you, obviously you've got the legs and they go in. So from a long way away, you could just get that sort of diamondy shape in there, and that fits in the legs. Obviously you've got the bag in between there. That line there for the back. I hope this is picking up to the camera. I know I've done them quite... I go over and over my lines, so this is the other thing. Don't be set to one line. If it's not right, you just correct it as you go along and be very sketchy, and that way you'll find you become more familiar with the subject, and that next time you come to do it, you'll do it more naturally. Okay, so that's the line of the front of the cow there. So you've sort of got a cylinder shape there. Then again we've got this triangular neck and the triangular shape of a head going down with just a bit of the ear showing, and again some legs. So again we just break it down into shapes that are very typical. So this is very typical of the way a cow bends down to eat the grass when you're seeing it from behind. The ones laying down are very easy. If you want to put some cows in a painting, a big landscape, and you want to make these cows look like they're half a mile away laid down in a field, it's incredibly easy, because we've just got basically one big kind of a triangle with the end chopped off. So that's your triangle, and this end of it's just chopped off there. And then another sort of a triangle for the head as before, but again with this nice flat line across the bottom. And if you get that a long way away in your picture, you're going to soon be able to build up a herd of cows with a few of these simple shapes. And then of course just put the colours to make them indicative of cows as well. So some of them are a bit more black, some white. They've usually got the feet sort of here somewhere, sort of curl round, but it might just be that you can't see those because they're under the grass. So again, that's another little tip. If you're worried about drawing the legs and the feet, just pop some grass underneath them. You know, you don't worry about that too much. Again, you've got the tailbone here, so that sort of wants to go up, and like I said, this line here is quite flat. So you could have a go at something like your dog. While you're just sat having a brew and your dog or your cat are there, just do a few simple sketches like this, breaking it down into shapes. And it is difficult because of course they move all the time, but the more you do, the easier it becomes. And just don't worry about what it looks like. If it looks very scruffy and sketchy, it doesn't matter, you're learning all the time. Okay, so I hope you found that useful. It's just something I thought I would share with you whilst I was doing it, just looking out of the window. I was waiting for something to dry, so I thought I would just quickly sketch 1 or 2 of the cows, which is something I do quite regularly. But like I say, they've all gone to sleep now. Okay, so thank you for joining me, and I'll be back again soon with another video. Bye for now.